All right. Welcome. This is DB Talking Now, DB Talking Birds, DB Talking Philadelphia Eagles. Breaking news, Jalen Hurts has been named starter for Week 14 against the Saints, the New Orleans Saints, this week at Lincoln Financial Field. Well, here's what I have to say about this. Anytime that you draft the quarterback in the second round, with the pedigree that Jalen Hurts has, there is always going to be an underlining current throughout the season where when are we going to get to see that guy? Especially if your starting quarterback struggles. Now, as I've mentioned before, as I've highlighted before, not everything is on Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is certainly having a horrible season, as we all are aware of. But let me tell you this, and I'll beat this in the head over and over again until it's blue in the face. 50 sacks and 120 plus quarterback hits in 11 and a half games for Carson Wentz. And people want to say that, he holds onto the ball too long. And yes, he does. He certainly does do that. But that's 50 sacks and 120 plus hits in 11 and a half games. And it's 11 and a half games because Jalen Hurts did step in for Carson Wentz in the third quarter of the Packers game this past week. Now, what do I want to say about this? Well, I have mixed emotions. As we all know, and I've talked about before, I am still 100% behind Carson Wentz, and I still have faith and believe that Carson at some point will turn his career around. And I have no doubt in my mind that will happen. There's so many outside factors that play into Carson's demise this season. He has not had a healthy offensive line in about 3 years. He's been throwing to practice squad players for about 3 years. The murderous job that Howie Roseman has done to try and accumulate talent for this Philadelphia Eagles franchise is absolutely astounding. Absolutely astounding. He has failed to accumulate talent for this franchise going forward at all, and deserves blame no matter how well Jalen Hurts continues to look down the stretch. Doug Peterson and Howie Roseman should not be absolved from accountability and responsibility, and for the miscues and offensive inefficiency and just their complete job title inefficiency as far as this season goes. And for Howie Roseman, it's about 4 seasons. Jason Peters is absolutely doing a horrible job at right guard. They are doing a disservice to him at this point. They are not being loyal to him. They need to stop pandering to their own loyalty to their players, because it's not loyalty at this point for Jason Peters. It's absolutely a disservice. They need to shut him down. I was one of those people who did not understand why we did not get Halapoulivaati a contract extension, and we just let him walk in free agency. He was a huge part in that great offensive line that we had in 2017 during that Super Bowl run, and it just did not make sense to not re-sign him. Instead, we brought back Jason Peters, who got injured during that year, which is why Halapoulivaati was the fill-in and did a phenomenal job during that Super Bowl run, and did an okay job when Jason Peters got injured again the next season. So, look, there is complete 100% dysfunctionality throughout the entire organization, and it continues to show week in, week out, day in, day out, and it's not all on Carson Wentz. But here's the good thing. I'm not against Jalen Hurts. I have nothing against Jalen Hurts. I'm excited to see what Jalen Hurts can do. I think it's important for us to see what we have in our second round quarterback pick, because we will have a high draft pick going into this offseason, and it's important that we see what we have in Jalen before we make the decision of whether or not we need to draft a quarterback high in the first round again. And I think it's important for that reason. Now, I'm not jumping the gun here, and I'm not getting too excited, or I'm not doing any of those things, because I'll tell you this right now, I'm not that excited quite yet I have mixed emotions. It's a mixed bag for me. But when Jalen Hurts came on the field and played against the Packers in the third quarter, there were remnants of Russell Wilsonisms that I saw. That I said to myself during my live stream, wow, that's incredible. That's good. I like that. That looks really good. And for that reason, I want to see what he can do. But I will stand my ground. I was hoping that I was going to have the chance to see Carson Wentz have a game where he has a bounce back game this season. Now, despite Jalen Hurts being named the starter against the New Orleans Saints, does that necessarily mean he's going to be the starter going forward for the rest of the season? We don't know that yet. That's yet to be seen. I have a feeling that yes, that is the case. There's no reason to turn back now. You've made the decision. That's most likely what will happen. And on the other hand, I think it's good for Carson Wentz to take a step back and gain some clarity. And I think it's good for Carson Wentz to be pissed off. I think it's good for Carson Wentz to readjust, realign, because let me tell you something, there's no shot in hell that he had any time between getting sacked 4 times on 15 pass attempts, which led him to his total of 50 sacks in 11 and a half games, to practice where he could look at his mechanics, see what was going on, gain some clarity. His confidence has been shaken. His confidence has been shaken since week 1. His confidence has been shaken since they took Jalen Hurts in the second round of this past year's draft. 18 months after you give a guy a contract extension, 4 years for $128 million, and you tell him that he is the guy going forward, you draft a quarterback in the second round, it's going to shake your confidence. How is Carson Wentz ever supposed to trust Doug Peterson and Howie Roseman ever again? Well, he's not. He's not. And I don't think he will. Which leads me to say, for those people who still believe and love Carson Wentz and still believe that he can turn it around, and there's a lot of them. There is a lot of them. For every Carson Wentz hater, there is a Carson Wentz supporter. He will not be back in Philadelphia as a starting quarterback with Doug Peterson and Howie Roseman still in the building. Or maybe he will. But his confidence will not be restored until those two leave. So for now, it's the Jalen Hurts show. And we're going to see what Jalen Hurts can do. And all we can do is hope for the best. Carson Wentz was sacked 4 times in 15 pass attempts on Sunday against the Packers, and Jalen Hurts was sacked 3 times in 12 attempts. That's a bigger problem outside of Carson Wentz, outside of Jalen Hurts, outside of the quarterback position in general. That is an overall offensive issue, coaching issue, front office issue, organizational issue. It's a complete debacle of an organization that won the Super Bowl in 2017. Carson Wentz was the only one in the building that was publicly taking accountability for the offense's inefficiencies, shortcomings, all of the miscues up to this point. No other player has been reported in doing so. But now you've benched the man who was publicly taking that accountability. for things that even weren't his fault. Was there a lot that was his fault? Yes. Was there a lot that was not his fault? Yes. Was he taking fault for the entirety of the situation? Yes. And the organization left him out, hung out to dry, like the piece of clothing that you don't want anymore on the clothesline. You bring in all the others, but as you walk back outside and you see that all the clothes are dry, you make a quick evaluation. Not sure I like that shirt anymore. Let me leave it outside. I'm going to come back outside and throw it in the trash, but you forget about it. We're going to have a lot to talk about going forward. A lot to talk about. This is huge news in Philadelphia. I don't know how they get out of this contract. Carson Wentz is going to be due for $60 million against the cap. $35 million if they find a way to trade him. It's a stranglehold. It's stranglehold. But this is DB Talking Now. DB Talking Birds. DB Talking Philadelphia Eagles. I am Dylan Brown. I am your host. You all have a beautiful day, and I will be with you throughout the week. Go Birds.